Okay, for this question, um, okay, Nida sent me a code already. I will just copy and paste here. Okay. We're going to have a look into Nida's code. Shall we write the question again together? So this question asking you to write a program to count each alphabet in the text. Uppercases only means that even though the input text gonna be even though the input text is like lower cases, but we're gonna count just we're gonna treat it as upper cases, like change it to upper cases and then count it. Okay. Okay, and show how many of each character are there, right? But just keep in mind that order here in the result in the example here can be different from your code. Okay, and here is your friend's code. Okay, so first of all, we get the text from the user, right? And then, okay, so this is gonna be a string so that we kind of change them into the upper cases and then we prepare. So this one, I give this line of code for you, right? Just setting up to create an empty text. Not empty text, sorry. It's quite early in the morning. We're gonna create an empty dictionary to count. This is what we can call counter, right? Then actually there are two ways because the alphabet in English, we know that there are only 26 alphabets or 26 letters. So we can initialize all of them into zero first, but we can see that here it counts only the character which is in the input text. So maybe we don't need to initialize each element first. What Nida was doing is that she kind of access each character in the string using for, right? This is in a string lesson. So for I in text, it will give you each letter in each iteration. Okay, and she also checks if I is not in the counter yet. She gonna start it with one. Oh, sorry, this should be this one. I gonna remove it. Okay, so if you add one character, right, that is not in the text, that is not in the counter yet, so you're gonna add it into the counter and then count it with one, right? And else means that if I is already counted before or earlier, so you're gonna increment it by one. Okay, so we can see that we can use a dictionary to count naturally because we don't need to have all the variables like separately. Okay, and this is the process of counting. Then when we want to show the results, we can see that I want you to print it line by line. So we need to access each item uh, uh, at one at a time. So she used um, K for KV, right? K comma V in count dot items because to use items, this will iterate or generate you a tuple of a key value pair for each time, for each round. And then she print out key, which is the alphabet, colon, um, and then the number of each character. Actually, for this one, it's gonna like concatenate. It's gonna concatenate with the colon here without space. But in the examples results, I have space here. So maybe we can do this, right? Okay. And then it's time to test. Quarantine. Any questions? Yay. Okay. This is actually, this is exactly what we want, right? So the program is correct. Okay, we're gonna move to the next topic, which is multi-dimensional dictionary. This idea is like when we have a list inside a list. So in a dictionary, we can have that as well. It means that the value of a dictionary can be a dictionary. And okay, in this case, so for example, if we have a table like this, and if we want to store it in a dictionary, there are many ways to do it. One way is to use a two-dimensional dictionary to keep it. First, if you want to create it manually, right, because there are just only a few lines here, a few kind of not too many values, so we create it with an empty dict first, and then we add the key here. So this is the subject ID or the class ID here. And then we can assign the value. And the value can be a list of like all the values here because there are multiple types of them, right? So credit, grade, class, and if it is taught online or not. Okay, we can keep it as a list, right? Because there are many values. At the same time, if we have a new subject, so we can add a new key and a new value here as well. So we can have a list, a new list, because that is associated with this subject. Okay, for this subject as well. Okay, this is one way to keep it. This is not yet two-dimensional dictionary. This is just a 1D dictionary, which is like one-dimensional dictionary where the values are listed. Can you tell me pros and cons for this? Anyone? Okay, so the cons for this. Before going to see what cons are, I can show you how can we access each element. For example, if you want to know our grade, right? Like a student's grade, just for example, this is your timetable, like your schedule, okay? Yeah, Nida said that you have to remember the index of each item, which is which. For example, we need to remember that if you want to access, like if this is my timetable, if I want to access my grade of this subject, so I can access like my course, followed by the key, right, which is the subject class ID that I want to know the grade. And I need to remember where is my grade. My grade is, oh, actually not my grade. I want to know the class, like when I have to teach, when I mean I was a student now. Okay, when I need to go to the class, like I want to know like if it is Thursday or Monday, right? I need to remember the index, which is like 0, 1, 2, 3. I need to know the class. Okay, so I need to remember them and access them. But we can access it, right? Okay, yes. Okay, so I put Nida's comment here. Yes. We have to remember the index of each item. So maybe it would be better if we can use a two-dimensional dictionary here. Okay. So there are many ways as well to create a two-dimensional dictionary. This is the first way. Okay, I start with the variable that I want to name, like my course, and then I'm gonna assign a dictionary. We can see that here, a pair of curly bracket. And then I just start with the key, right? Which is the subject class ID. Then followed by a colon. And then instead of a list, I gonna assign the value as a dictionary. And because it is a dictionary, you can notice from a pair of bracket here. And so because I want to be a dictionary, I need to decide what are keys and what are values there. So the keys can be the column names here, like credit, and then the value is its value that is associated with it. Okay, grade as another key, and this is the value of grade. Class as another key, right? Here, we can see that class, the value that is associated with the class is like a list, because there are multiple values, so it can be a list. And this is the last key that I'm gonna keep it into this dictionary, and this is a value, right? Okay, in this way, if we want to access the like if we want to ask what day this class is taught, so I can like access it by a dictionary manner, like my course. Then the first key is about the subject class ID, and then next one is another key, right? Another key that I want to know. If I want to know the class, I can say I can access it with class. If I want to know the credit, I can change this key into credit. Okay, not confused. So this gives you a dictionary, and then it is the value in it. So we can see that we can use like two keys to access the value. That is why we call two-dimensional dictionary. Okay, but okay, I'll give you one more example. If I want to access the second day, just only Wednesday here, how can I access it? Can you write a statement here? Yes. So because these will give you a list, right? This will give you a list. So we can do the indexing, which Wednesday is in the middle, like it is the first index, right? Here we give you just only Wednesday. Okay, so this is one way to create a two-dimensional dictionary. There is another way. Maybe this one might be easier to read, but you can see it takes up many more lines. Okay, we first created an empty dictionary first, and then for this key, for like for this key, we can put a long dictionary here, right? Because this is gonna be the value that is associated with this key. Okay, so this is a dictionary with the same keys like class and online here. Okay, okay, so this is the same way that we created before with this subject, right? So if we have a new subject, we can do the same. Or this is another way inside. So for this one, this class, we say that, okay, if we have this as a new class, we're gonna generate or we're gonna create an empty dictionary for this class first, because we know it is a dictionary, right? And then we just gradually add each item one at a time. So for the class, we need to add the key and the associative value here and credit, right? And this is the value for the online key, right? And this is for the last item, which is like grade and its value, that is a member in a dictionary, which is the value of this class. Okay, any questions? So when I create it with this way, it's gonna have the same result of a two-dimensional dictionary. Okay, before we go to that, but this topic I say here in the topic here is multi-dimensional dictionary, which means that we can create more than two dimensionals dictionary. Like we can create more than two dimensions. Imagine if like maybe if grade has a complex value, which is there are two types of grade: letter grades or just S or U, like satisfied or unsatisfied, right? So we can have the value here can be another dictionary as well. And if the value here the values here are all dictionary, we can say that this dictionary has three dimensions. Okay, but just for to keep the values in a time in a table, we can just use a two-dimensional dictionary. Okay, anyone finish this question? Given the code below, write a line of code to change the first score of phys, which means like physics, from 80 to 100. This is just one statement. Can you give me a clue here, or you can send me your code. Okay, let's see Nida's guess in here. No, this is from my previous clipboard. Okay, here, is it correct? We can check it by running it. Let's go with S2 here. Okay, if it is correct. It says name error, courses is not defined. This is my fault. I need to run this first. Can you make them string? Yeah, I forgot. Okay. So course is here, right? So course, and then I need to make it here to be string as Nida said, because the key is string, right? Fit and then score as well. So if I like just remove it first, and then we can see that for if I write like this one, we're gonna get this dictionary. And then if I write, like if I say specifically to access this key, I will get a list. And we know that lists are mutable. So we can access it by indexing, or by index, right? We're gonna change it like from 80. 80 is here, which is the first element. So the index is 0. And we're gonna change it to 100, which means we're gonna make an reassignment, right, to 100 to this index. Okay, after we run it, actually we can print out courses, the whole courses. Here we can see physics, right? Fit credit 3 scores, we get more score to 100. Okay. So I wish that everyone here who studies physics in this term gonna get A grade. Okay, that's it for the dictionary lesson. So she says, "You wish you don't have to study physics? Don't you think that physics is useful for your career or for your study like path?" Okay, I'm not gonna read that out because it is recording. Okay, next is all the programming exercises. So you can send me the code if you have you done this? Anyone? Nida, Natakiet, and everyone else here who are here, there are um like tens people are here. Not yet. Can you do this for homework? Yes, for sure. Okay, let me